All those things perfectly will not keep us sober. All of those things imperfectly will not make us drink. You see? Because our problem doesn't have anything to do with those things. It has to do with spiritual bankruptcy. And the solution has to do solely with one thing: getting a loving God between us and booze. Because we're powerless over the booze. We can't stop drinking on our own, and it doesn't matter what else is going on in our lives. We can get wealthy and we will get drunk. We can get poor and we can get married and get drunk. We can get divorced and get drunk. We can leave the country and get drunk. We can come back to the country and get... Nothing works. You see? And this means that we've got to watch it, because it's so easy to fall into these traps. Here's another thing that I'd like to suggest to you. The human solutionists out there are always talking about triggers. Trigger this and trigger that, you know. Something like Gene Autry's horse, I guess. But if you accept the premise that we have a disease, that we are dealing with an insanity, if we are dealing with obsession over which we have no power, if we're dealing with not only obsession but a compulsion over which we have no power, if you accept those things, if you accept that because we have no power we cannot stop drinking on our own, if you accept that there's only one solution, and that's to put a higher power between us and the booze, then all of this other stuff becomes irrelevant. That's why the big book tells us in chapter 7 that any attempt to shield the sick man from temptation is bound to fail.